Hi friends, welcome to the channel JIV and CIB Made Simple. This is our IT&DB unit number 9 theory portion. Chapter name is banking software. Let's see what are the topic which we have to study in this particular chapter. We will see the introduction, banking software, integrated banking system, centralized banking solution, CBS, feature of online banking website, internet service. I think this topic we will cover in this particular lecture and rest topic we will cover in the upcoming lecture. So let's get started with the banking software. So friends, let's take a super simple look at something that sounds technical, banking software, but trust me, by the end of this slide you will understand it like a pro. Now imagine a bank. It's not just one person at a desk doing everything, right? There are departments for deposits, loans, foreign exchange, payroll, risk management, and even reconciliation of transactions between branches. To manage all of this smoothly, banks don't rely on paper file anymore. They use banking software, and not just one software but a full team of different applications working together behind the scene. But here is the twist. Integrating all these different software systems is a real challenge. That is called integration challenge, right? This is one of the major challenge that is faced, right? So it takes times, and sometimes they don't even talk to each other properly, right? That is why bank need a more connected system. Let's break it down further. Then comes core banking software. You can see, basically, this is the brain of the bank. It handles your saving account, loan, foreign exchange, treasury operation, and all the major banking stuff. Then comes administration software, which means think of this like an HR department. It takes care of the employee salary, pension, personal detail, and all the behind the scene operation. Then comes MIS software. This is what management use to make big decision. So MIS software used by management to make big decision, right? It helps with the reports on NPA, asset liability management, balance sheet analysis, and more. Then comes reconciliation and settlement software. So ever wondered how your money reaches from one branch to another, or how RTGS and ECS work? Yes, this software ensures that money move accurately and smoothly. Then come non-banking financial institution software. So bank don't just handle saving and loan, they also deal with mutual fund, capital market, portfolio management. There is a special software for that too. So the next time you walk into a bank or use internet banking, remember there is an entire orchestra or software system playing in harmony to make it all work. Now friends, let's look at something called IBS. IBS, that's called system architecture, right? So basically, before moving into this, let me tell you about this particular diagram. This explains the IBS in clear fashion. So friends, let's decode this particular figure. So let's start from the top, the entry point. You can see at the top we have some entry point. Let me zoom a little bit so that you can clearly see the written word. So these are called the entry point. So through these are the different way a customer can interact with the bank: through SWIFT, through ATM, through internet, through call center, through branch, or through mobile or IBR. All these entry point connect to the bank through a communication channel. So there is a communication channel through which all these entry point connect to the bank, right? And this brings us to the communication interface system. You see here written, this is CIS, communication interface system. So basically this system acts like a translator. So whenever you see CIS, it acts like translator. It acts like translator and messenger, passing instruction from the customer side to the bank system securely and efficiently. Then come delivery channel management system. You know what is the meaning of delivery channel management system? In short, we call it DCMS. In short, we call it DCMS. So this layer decides how services are delivered to you via mobile, net banking, or ATM. Then we have the security system. So think of this like the security guard of the bank digital world, right? This is like security guard. This is called security guard of the bank digital system, right? So it protects sensitive data and prevent unauthorized access. That is called security system. Now come the heart of the setup, which we call integrated banking system. This is where the magic happens. All departments of the bank are connected in one place. So first of all, we talked about CIS, that is communication interface system, which act like a translator and messenger, passing instruction from the customer side to the bank system securely and efficiently. Then comes the DCMS, delivery channel management system. This layer decides how services are delivered to you via net banking, via mobile, or any other medium. Then comes security system, which means security guard of the bank digital world. It protects sensitive data, right, and prevent unauthorized access. Then come the integrated banking system. So here you can see the vertical column, like the first column is deposit, then loan, then customer management information, then we have charges, foreign exchange, money market, right, payment, trade, everything like that, right? Each of these block represent different operation or department within the bank. and IBS tie them all together in one single platform. And finally at the bottom we have the base table. So these are called base table. Base table means what? These hold important data used across department, like positions, gaps, ALM, asset liability management, query logs, etc. So these diagrams show how a bank connect with the outside world through various channels, manage and secure that interaction, and finally process everything internally through its integrated banking system. This is called IBS, integrated banking system. So this architecture ensures that your balance update instantly, your EMI is deducted smoothly, and even foreign exchange transactions settle accurately, all in real time. Pretty cool, right? This is exactly the kind of back-end system that power modern banking, and understanding it will help a huge edge in the CIB examination. Now friends, let's see the key features of the CBS, commercial banking system. So basically, now ever wondered what goes into behind the scene in a commercial banking digital brain? So let's decode the future of commercial banking system. Modern banking software does not work in silos, do not work in isolation anymore. It connects everything, whether it is retail banking, business banking, online payment, treasury operation, international trade, even internal reporting like MIS, right? All of them are interrelated. And think of this like one single app that handle everything from saving account to a stock trade. Everything is handled in just one single app. Then one feature of it is platform independent. What is the meaning of this platform independence? So no more compatibility drama. This means the system can run on any hardware, any operating system, right? Whether it is Windows, whether it is Linux, whether it is cloud, right? So you name it. No need to worry if any part run on Android and on iOS. The systems speak a universal tech language. Also it use API, right, which are like tech bridge to connect different app and platform. API, these are tech bridge to connect different app and platform, like linking your bank account to UPI app, mobile wallet, or even WhatsApp banking. So if you want to link your bank account to mobile wallet, UPI app, WhatsApp banking, this API is the tool, right? This is called the integrated system. Then we have something called international operation. So today banking system are world traveler. They handle multiple currency, right? You can view, convert, revalue currency anytime. Even seen reports, even you can see report in different currency at different level. It even support euro triangulation. This is called euro triangulation. That means if you are converting between two non-euro currency, the system use euro as a middle step to ensure accurate conversion. Smart, right? Multilingual, that means banks serve customer across the globe, so the system support multiple language, whether it is English, whether the customer prefer English, Hindi, French or Japanese. Banking feel local and personal. Then we have multi-entity, which means a system for bank with global reach. Big bank operate in many countries, many region, many subsidiary. This system allow each entity to have its own currency, local rule and product range, and still work under the same software umbrella. Even with one bank, it can support multiple department, multiple branch or trading desk, like each having its own room, right, but sharing the same smart brain again. That is called multi-entity. Then we have multi-branch concept. You can see multi-branch. What is the meaning of multi-branch? So whether the bank has 10 branches or 1 lakh branch, this system handle it all. It can manage transaction across different time zone, right? You can see it can manage transaction across different time zone. It can handle the SWIFT, right, codes, and manage inter-branch or intra-branch, right, operation easily. It is perfect for a global bank operating 24/7. Then we have so in short we can summarize that today commercial banking system is like a super smart multitasking robot, right? We can call it robot. This is a super smart multitasking robot that handle customer in every corner of the world, in any language, any currency, any channel, and without breaking a sweat. So, and for you as a future certified, as a future CIBN, understanding this future give you an edge in the cracking CIB, IT&DB. Now let's talk about the bulk transaction entry. Today we are diving into behind the scene powerhouse of your banking system, the engine that handle bulk transaction, system crashes, and performance management. All right, while you and I do simple thing like sweeping a card and sending a UPI, there is something called bulk transaction entry. Bank don't just handle one transaction at a time. They process lakh of transaction every single day, right? Whether it is salary credit, NEFT batches, loan EMI or automatic standing order. This system work like a real-time factory line, running 24/7 without any break. All these transactions come in bulk file. There is something called bulk file based system, right? Sometimes from other system, and the banking software handle them one by one in real time. Yes, they handle them one by one in real time, right? Just like a scanning product at a supermarket checkout, but 100 times faster. So these entry go through a channel management system right? So you must know this. There is something called CMS, channel management system. Here you can see it processes through the channel management facility, right? So which decide which route to take. So there are multiple routes available. It may be branch, it may be ATM, right? It may be mobile app. So this channel management system decide that which route should to take. And guess what? It is all done without slowing down your UPI or online banking experience. So the end user never feel a delay, right? So this system that is called channel management facility, it does not cause any delay in the operation. And there is one more super important point here is high availability operation, which means now imagine what if the system crashed during the busy Monday morning. That is where high availability comes in. Suppose system crash during heavy rush in the Monday morning, then at this point heavy availability comes into picture. What is heavy availability? So banking system are built using fault tolerant hardware. Remember it, they are built using something called fault tolerant hardware, which means even if one part fail, other part automatically takes over. So whenever I say this auto fault tolerant hardware, suppose one part get failed, then the other part automatically take over, right? That is the meaning of fault tolerant hardware. Like having a backup pilot flying the plane the moment the first one sneezes. No manual coding or rebooting. The system heal itself, right? There is automatic recovery. The system heal itself and continue like nothing happened. This makes sure banking never stop no matter what. I hope that makes sense to you. Now friends, let's talk about something called performance management. What is the meaning of performance management? You can see in the upcoming slide. So friends, banking that grows with you. As customer base grow and more people do online banking, system must keep up. This is where performance management steps in. It monitors the system health, right? So let me show you, right? So it monitors something called, it monitors the system health. Performance management monitors the system health constantly, checking if it can handle peak hour, growing transaction volume, and new features like WhatsApp banking, if it can handle or not. This is what it is checked by during the performance management. It runs scenario testing. Remember it. This is very important point. What it does, something called scenario testing. You can see scenario testing. It runs scenario testing, right? And it runs scenarios testing and benchmarks to stay prepared for future challenge, ensuring user get a fast, smooth and lag free experience no matter how heavy the load is. So to summarize, we can say bulk transaction, cash proof system, super fast performance at all time. That is the modern banking system, a silent warrior working round the clock so that you, the customer, never have to wait. I hope that makes sense to you. Now friends, let's switch our attention to a general application function. So friends, that small amount, those small amount that disappeared from your account as a fee, well, that is a whole system behind how those charges are calculated, applied and even waived. So let's talk about the smart charging system, not just random deduction. Bank don't just pick a number and charge you. No, they use a smart charge module that let them apply fee based on different rules and different conditions. So there is something called charge module, right? That let them apply fee based on different rule and condition. So charge can be zero, right? Charge can be zero. Charge can be a flat fee like rupees 100 per transaction, or it is tiered flat charge like rupees 50 for transaction below 10,000, rupee 100 for higher transaction. This is called tiered flat charge, or even a percentage of the transaction value. So it gets smarter. Let me give you one example, right, to make it more clear. So charges have different type. That is called tiered percentage. Let's say you transfer rupees 50,000, right? You transfer rupees 50,000. The bank may charge 1% of the first 10,000. 1% of the first 10,000, 0.5% on the next 40,000. So this is called tiered percentage, right? That is called tiered percentage, or we also call it sometimes incremental charge. Sometimes you may heard this word so-called incremental charge. Like you are transferring 50,000, so for the first 10,000, 1% is charged, and for next 40,000, 0.5% is charged. This is called tiered percentage of transaction charge. So now question is, what about rebate and waiver? Yes, see, bank also give you discount, which is called rebate, based on your account balance. For example, if you maintain a high balance, you may pay a lesser fee, or the system might apply a flat rebate or a percentage rebate on your what you have been charged. Some bank even offer instant fee deduction. Yes, they often instant fee deduction, right? While other accumulate it and deduct it later, like how your OTT subscription bill monthly. It even support different charges based on location. That is called location based charge. You can see it offer different charges based on location. So someone in Mumbai might be charged differently than someone in the rural branch. That is called location based charges. So either immediate application, geographical table is also there. And now there is the best part, that is highly flexible. right? I told you now, this is highly flexible. Let me show you. Exception processing for greater flexibility. This is what we're talking about. Highly flexibility, which means, the system is super flexible. A customer can be fully exempt from all the charges. A customer can be either be fully exempt, or it can vary by product type, like say saving account or current account, or there is a variation by account type, or even the type of transaction event, right? So that is how bank maintain fairness and personalization while also keeping things efficient and automated. So in your IT and DB paper, they may ask you about how banking system manage fee dynamically, and now you know that it's all controlled by a highly customizable module designed for accuracy, flexibility, and fairness. So what we learned from the discussion is that charges can be flat, tiered, or percentage based. Rebate exists and are system defined. The system even adjusts charges by geography or customer profile. Exemptions and exception, yes, all are handled with quite ease. That is what we have just learned now. Now friends, let's discuss the inquiries. Friends, ever wondered what happened behind the scene when you walk into a bank and ask, can I get my interest statement? And what is my loan history? Let me show you how a bank core system handle all your question instantly, accurately, and in real time. Let's dive into one of the most powerful feature of commercial banking system, that is called inquiries and reporting. So gone are the day of digging through the paper file, and now everything is online and bank can access the latest account information in few clicks. Here is what bank can instantly look up. Account summary, right? They can look at the account summary, whether it is short or long format. They can share detail, they can share security address, right? They can share the interest detail, interest earned, interest charged, local loan history, like loan history, personal information, insurance data, solicitor or legal inquiry. Then even check movement or credit line uses are also being checked. So as a CIB aspirant, remember, these systems are built to ensure fast, reliable and paperless inquiry, saving both time and effort. Now let me take you to what phone pay and bill pay. So basically, before UPI become popular, there was no phone pay, there was phone pay. No, not the app. In this future, see, remember, we are talking about the app. We are not talking about the phone pay app. Before UPI, there was a phone pay. So in this picture, what happened? Customer could call the bank, code their account number and password, and ask the bank to make a payment on their behalf. This is called phone pay, right? So customer could call the bank, code their account number, password, ask the bank to make a payment on their behalf. The system would generate a check, debit it from the selected saving account and process the payment. Neat, right? Even without a smartphone or net banking. This is called phone pay or bill pay, right? Then comes collateral management. So bank don't just give loan, they secure them with the collateral, right? This system allow bank to record what asset you have placed, right? And after that, revalue it periodically. Yes, recording is done, then periodic revaluation is done, and link it to a specific loan, customer or overall facility. So if borrower default, the bank know exactly what is available as a backup. That is called collateral management. Then we have something called reporting, which means bank love data, and this system help them turn data into decision. Yes, obviously, why the bank love data? Because once they have data, then only they can do a proper decision, right? So that is the point. So the system can generate daily, weekly, monthly, even period ending report. Yes, system can generate this kind of report, right? And breakdown by currency, batch, branch, area, institutions, right? There are some trends like average balance, high and low transaction volume, even some user defined exception report are there, right? Let me take you through that. There are some user defined exception report, for example, that shows only account with suspicious activity. If you need to file a report with the central bank, yes, system can do that also, fully automated. So in your paper, examination paper, you will find question around how core banking system support day-to-day operation, whether it is handling a customer inquiry, managing secured loan, or generating report for the compliance. This technology is the brain, right? I hope that makes sense to you. Now let's look at the security part, very, very important. So friends, every time a bank employee log into the system, there is a multi-level security check going on. Here is how sign on and sign off procedure is there, right, with user ID and password. Then we have different access, different access rights are there. Let me show you. Different access rights are there. So based on user role, like a tailor, manager, admin, some functions are password protected by super user, right? Some functions are password protected by super user. When I say super user, what it means, that meaning only authorized senior staff can override. Not just that, the system also validate transaction. Yes, validation is also done per transaction. Log every action. Yes, every action is logged. You can see transaction logging is there, message validation is there, track who did what and when, and check even the branch location of the user, right? That is what it done. So friends, remember, security in banking means multi-level protection. It is much more than a simple login. Then we have something called interest processing. What is the meaning of interest processing? Let's talk about it. Friends, that this is the fun part. How interest is calculated in different way. Bank don't use a single fixed method. They have up to 32 variation. Right. Let me break down. Interest can be linked to a prime or base rate, like a reference base. So either they can be linked to prime rate or a base rate. Like, and this we can call it reference rate. Right. So interest can be based on how much you deposit or how much you borrow. Right. That can also be based on your amount of deposit or your amount you have borrowed. Right. Or it can also be based on how long the money is parked. Right, means the time band. Right. So it can be amount, time, and it can be the combination of this, like combo of amount plus time. Right. Interest can also be based on combo of amount plus time. Right. And interest can be added monthly, quarterly, yearly, or even on the anniversary date. Right. So interest can be added anytime. So that is the point. So the system support flexibility for every kind of customer and support. Now there is something called base rate processing, means setting the ground rule. Every bank decided on base rate or prime rate, which is the benchmark for all interest calculation, and the system allow setting the base rate differently for different product. Yes, obviously for different product there is a different base rate. So P1, P2, P3, these are the different. They have B1, B2, B3. These are the base rate, right? And adding a margin. Yes, margin is also to be added, or a spread we call it. Either we call it margin or we call it the spread. This is also to be added depending on loan category or the product type. Global or product specific rate maintenance. So this ensures that bank keep its pricing in line with the market trend and RBI guideline. If we talk about the loan establishment, loan are not always at the fixed rate. Sometimes bank negotiate a special rate, right? So bank negotiate some special rate for a certain customer. We are talking about loan establishment. So this system can record negotiated interest rate. So system can record the negotiated interest rate that don't match the default product rate. They do not match the product rate, right? It can either set rate based on loan amount or loan tenure, right? That is the point. So we are talking about the loan establishment. So it means that it record negotiated interest rate that don't match the default product rate. It set rate based on loan amount or loan tenure. It automatically track the loan maturity date, so nothing get mixed. So that is the point. So loan establishment means record negotiated interest rate that don't match the default product rate. Set rate based on loan amount. So for your CIB examination, remember that the system manages complex interest rule plus customized loan setup with full automation. Then we have something called sweep facility. So basically, what is the meaning of sweep facility? I hope you know it. So ever wish your bank account could move your money around automatically to help you earn more or avoid penalty? Well, that is exactly what the sweep facility does. Think of it like auto transfer with the brain. There are two types. One is called push sweep, other is called pull sweep. What is the meaning of push sweep? See, when your account balance goes above a certain limit, so suppose this is the limit and your account balance is here, so it is above this limit, right? So what happened? The extra money is pushed into another account, like a fixed deposit account or a high interest saving account. So this extra money, which is this much, it is parked into another account, right? The benefit is that your idle money earns better return, and there is something called pull sweep, which means when your account balance drop below a minimum level, money is pulled from your linked account to maintain it. So the benefit is that no bounce check or charge for insufficient balance. This facility can also handle non-customer initiated transaction. Yes, it caters for non-customer initiated transaction like a scheduled payment, EMI, standing instruction. So in short, it's your money manager always moving fund smartly in the background. That is called a sweep facility. I hope that makes sense to you. You are already familiar with these things. Then we have something called centralized banking solution. Now imagine you work in any one branch in Mumbai, Delhi, or even in a small town, and the staff can instantly access your complete account history. That is possible because of the centralized banking, which is the backbone of modern banking. How it works, that all customer data and transaction are stored in one central server, right? So there is a one central server where all the customer data is stored, right? Not scattered across branch. And branches run on light server and just connect to this central server. So the branches run on local branches database, right? Light server, and they are connected to this central server, right? So if the internet goes down, what happened? No worry. Branch use a smart feature that is called store and forward. Suppose the internet goes down, then branch use a smart feature that is called store and forward. right? So basically temporarily data is saved locally and sent to the central server once the connection is back, right? So temporarily it is stored, and once the connection is established, suppose the internet is low right now, so it is stored temporarily, and once connection is restored, it is sent back to the central server, right? Thanks to this, you can use ATM, mobile app, internet banking, phone banking, all accessing the same live data. The result is that you have faster service, reduce operational cost, smooth banking across all branch, better control and analytics. But one thing you must know, that centralized system do more than just transaction. What they can learn? Yes, this is very important thing. They can learn also. This is the bonus, that is called predictive analysis. So let me show you the terms of predictive analysis. Yes, this is called predictive analysis capability. What is the meaning of this predictive analysis capability? It means that centralized system can do more than just transaction. They learn, right? What is the meaning of learning? So centralized system, using customer behavior and data, right? So using this customer behavior and data, right? So bank can offer tailor-made product, right? So bank can offer tailor-made product. Bank can offer tailor-made product. For example, a Standard Chartered India launched the Diva credit card, right? This credit card was launched for working women based entirely on analytics, right? So you can see they are learning, right? So basically it is all about predicting what the customer need. It's all about offering the personalized deals. It's all about reducing cost while increasing revenue. So the next time, whenever you use net banking or swipe your debit card, know that there is a powerful brain working behind the scene, analyzing, syncing, and sweeping your banking experience to a new level. I hope that makes sense to you. Then we have customer channel benefit. So just remember, sweep means a smart fund transfer. Centralized banking means, so let me just write down. So whenever you heard this word sweep means what? A smart fund transfer. Sorry for my handwriting. Just listen to my word. So sweep means a smart fund transfer. Whenever you see this word centralized banking. So centralized banking means what? It means one unified brain. It means one unified brain, right? For all branches. For all branches, only one brain. And whenever you see this word analytics, what is the meaning of analytics? It means better customer targeting, right? I hope that makes sense to you. Now let's look at the basic element of this CBS. So what are some basic element of CBS? Let's dive into that. Let me take you through that. Yes, so let's look at some basic element of CBS. So basically CBS is like central nervous system of a bank, connecting all the branches, channel and services so that everything runs smoothly, real time and hassle free. Need already we have discussed. Let's talk about the basic element. The first is net banking, right? Mobile banking, then ATM, POS and quick system and fund transfer. So basically these are the basic elements of CBS. Now what are the benefits for customer? That customer for benefit is just fast service is there, anywhere banking is there. Let me highlight the key point. So quicker service, first key point. Anywhere banking, second key point. 24/7 convenience, third benefit. Fourth benefit is quick payment, right? Then it helps the rural area, right? It helps the rural branches. And instant deposit reflection, right? So deposit cash in one branch, it shows up immediately in your account, even if it is another city. And what is the benefit for the bank? So customer point of view, this is quite beneficial as you can see. But if you look from bank point of view, so this standardized process, this is how it help bank. CBS help bank. All branches follow the same system. Then better customer experience means fast service, means happy customer, means lower relationship. Error minimization of error, right? Third point. Then centralized record. This is the fourth point. And the last time we have a real time system, right? And MIS report are generated in second. So these are the advantages for the bank. So obviously you can see these are advantages for both. Either we call it bank or we call it customer. The system is advantageous. Now core banking solution implementation. Bank can easily now file report to RBI and government department. Yes, report filing has become easier like never before. Opening account, giving loan, handling cash, all become smooth and quick with CBS. That is why even RRB, even regional rural bank, even RRB and cooperative bank, right, were pushed to adopt CBS to meet modern customer demand. For example, Urban UCB advised to implement CBS by December 31st, 2013. So CBS means anytime, anywhere banking. I hope you are familiar with all these things. Now let's look at the web server, very important part. So friends, it might sound technical, but don't worry, I will promise you will get in the next 2 minutes. So what is web server? Think of web server like a waiter in a restaurant. You can think of them, you can think the web server like waiter in a restaurant, right? When you, the customer, ask for something like say a web page like www.google.com. Suppose you ask for www.google.com. You are a customer, right? And web server is like a waiter. You ask for this web page. The web server, which is the who is the waiter, runs to the kitchen. And kitchen is what? The kitchen is the internet. I'm just giving you an example to understand. So he runs to the kitchen, which is the internet, right? And gets your order. What is the order? Order is the web page. Order is the web page, right? And and serve it back to you via your browser. It serves you back to you via your browser. That is what is happening. Again, I'm repeating. So whenever you, the customer, ask for something, let's say a web page like www.google.com. So the web server, who is the waiter, he run to the kitchen, that is the internet, and get your order, that is your web page, and serve it back using your browser. So it uses a protocol that is called HTTP, right? This is a protocol, right, which simply means hypertext transfer protocol, which means the set of rule for sending and receiving the web content. Basically, HTTP has stand for hypertext transfer protocol. It consists of set of rule for sending and receiving the web content. So this is how the client server model, right, works. So what is the meaning of client? You are the client. You as the customer is the client, and the web server is the server. You request, it respond. Quite simple. Now let's talk about the famous web server out there. What are the famous web server out there? Apache web server, right? The most popular one globally. It is like it is like the king of all web server, powering over 60% of the machine on the internet. And it was developed by Apache Software Foundation. And the best part is about, let us talk about more about it Apache in the upcoming slide. So Apache's web server, it approximately 60% of the machine run on this Apache web server, right? And the best part is that it is open source software. What it means? That it means free to use and customizable, and it run on almost any operating system, either it is Linux, Unix, Windows, FreeBSD, and Mac OS. Other popular system includes, besides Apache, you have IIS. What is IIS? IIS, this is Internet Information Server run by Microsoft. IIS by Microsoft. And another can be, NGINX. This, this is pronounced as Nginx. This is called Nginx. It is known for being super fast and used by high traffic website. So what we learned from this discussion is that, web server respond to user request and serve website. It respond to the user request. Then use HTTP to send web page, hypertext transfer protocol, part of the client server model. Apache is the most used server, open source and operating system friendly. Other include IIS, Microsoft, and NGINX, right? So the next time you open a web page, remember there is a web server working silently in the background, making sure everything loads perfectly. There is a web server working, like I've just given you 3 examples: Apache, IIS, and NGINX. And don't forget to subscribe for more easy CIB friendly breakdown. Like now friends, let's look at this particular slide, right? What it is talking about. So friends, let's zoom in to understand what happened here. Imagine you are using your phone or computer to access a bank website, right? Say you want to check your balance. So that make you the web client. So you become what? You become web client. So here you can see their terminology. You become web client. Yeah, just wait a minute. Let's make it fun and easy to understand, right? You become what? Wait a minute. Yes, web client. So you send the request like, hey bank server, show me my balance, which is called HTTP request. This is called HTTP request. And this request go to the web server. Just like I told you some example. Now the web server check, is it a simple request like showing a web page or image? It checks, is it a simple request like showing a web page or image? If it is yes, then it grab that data from the static data source. If it is simple request, then it grab the data from the static data source and send it back to you. You see, it sends it back to you, right? This is called, a static data response. This is called static. You see this word written here, a static data response, right? Done. Example, bank homepage, logo, or general information. But sometimes the request is more complex, like checking your balance, applying for a loan, or viewing your statement, which need processing, right? So what does the web server do? It forward the request to the application server. The web server forward the request to the application server, and application server through some process which is called servlet request. And the application server is where the real magic happen. Inside it, there is a web container, right? You can imagine it like the brain. So you can say this web container is like the brain, right? So, and the other service like like data access, business logic, it talks to the application data store, right, where your account data is stored, fetches your balance, does calculation, check permission, and finally prepare a response. You see this response, servlet response, and that is servlet response, which travel back through the web server right, and reaches your browser via HTTP response, and boom, you see your updated account balance. So in short, we can say, what are these? See, web client is you, this is you, right, the user. Web server is the messenger or waiter, we can call it the waiter or the messenger, right. A static data source, fixed information like image, like website. So it's just you want to open the website, then it can go to the static data source. And application server, application server is like the logic center, handles serious stuff. It handles some serious stuff like the transaction. And application data store, is like where actual account data is stored. Actual data is stored here in the application data source. So it's like, well-oiled relay race. Your request run through these layers and come back with the perfect answer. I hope this concept help you understand the back end of the internet banking, mobile app and ATM. So friends, if you really want such kind of conceptual understanding for the entire IT&DB, you can enroll in our IT&DB video course, right? Or you can WhatsApp me on this particular number to get more such insight, right? I hope that makes sense to you. I hope now you have a clear understanding of what is web server, what is web client, what is static data source, what is application server. Let's talk a little bit about application server now. Web server we have already covered. Now friends, you can think of the application server like, middleman between your, so it is like a middleman between what? Between your browser, between your bank website that you can see, and the complex data source, and the complex data stored behind the scene. So like a middleman. So whenever you log into net banking and ask for your mini statement, the application server handle the job. It is handled by the application server. You are asking for the mini statement, right? So the job is handled by the application server. It's talk to the database. What it does, this application server talk to the database, right? So run the logic, checks rule whether your login is valid or not, and then show you the result all in a blink. So see what is happening here. So it does not do thing in this one task. It run many things. Like, what it does, let me explain. There are many things which are done in just a blink of second. How does it happen? You can see that first thing it does, that it checks your bank business rule, right? It checks your bank business rule, that how interest is calculated, how loans are processed. That is your bank business rule, right? Second thing, it check the background task is also do, right? Some background task it also do, like, a scheduled job like generating daily report at midnight. Have an alert and automated SMS come from this layer. So these applications are built in by the bank. You can see it is built in by the bank IT team and hosted right here on the application server. Why is it so important? Because today banking is not just about storing data. It's about processing millions of requests quickly, securely, 24/7, right? So the application server must be high speed, redundant, means no single point failure should be there. Whenever I say this word redundancy, it means there should be no single point failure, and always available and able to run across many machine. That is called distributed app, right? So these are what power your complex banking transaction. So application server often work hand in hand with the web server. I told you they often combined with the web server, right? The web server handle your request, passes it to the application server, which does the heavy lifting and return the result. Some common technology that help with this passing the request are, some example is given, like, CGI, fast CGI, Microsoft Active Server, right? And ASP is given by, Microsoft Java. So, and the middleman can even use advanced technology like Corva. This Corva? So this Corva is an advanced technology which the middleman, or we can say this application software, can use, right, to broker communication behind the scene. So famous application server, let me give you some example. JBoss, which is an open source JBoss community. Sunglassfish, which is by Oracle WebLogic, right, which is Oracle. IBM WebSphere, which is by IBM. So question is, what about this database server? Simple. This is where your actual banking data live, right? Your actual account balance, your transaction history, your loan EMI, everything lies in database server, right? So this server uses software like, some software name is given, like, Oracle, right? Oracle, just let me highlight it. So Oracle SQL server, MySQL, right, to store and retrieve the data. And usually it is on a separate machine. It is on a separate machine, right? Because handling massive data required securely and quickly is no joke. You can think of the database server as the brain where your past actions are recorded, and the application server as the one doing all the thinking. So just for recording purpose, this database server is used, and the actual brain is handled by the application server. So There are some tech pro. So basically, if you talk about the application administration, so there are some tech pro who build and maintain the application server, who work with software developer, system admin, database admin. It's all teamwork, right? They coordinate. So if you talk about the application administration, they build and maintain the application server. First point, they coordinate with development team, network engineer, system administrator, and database administration to design server environment. They support the designer who make your bank website. Yes, obviously there is a designer, right? There is a web designer who make your app website, bank website or app, and they help generate report, right? Answer technical help desk query, and keep the server environment running smoothly 24/7. And they even write a small script like using VB script. So there is some script. Let me tell you. There you might have heard about this VB script. So these are the script which is written by administrative server, application administrator, right? And this VB script to automate tasks and support document system. So to summarize, let's summarize the fact which we have just discussed. What we have discussed just now is that application server is the process. What is done is process request. It process request, right? It run logic, and finally it connect front into database. This is done by application server. Then we have database server. Database server is what? Database server is store all data. It is store all data, right? And admin, admin are the silent hero who makes sure that everything runs smoothly. So friends, let's end our discussion here. The rest thing which we will cover in the upcoming chapter, that is 9.3.6, that is database administration, right? I hope till now the concept is clear. Using diagrams